Monday motivation. I've got to just tell you, on Sunday, before the snow arrived, I was out with the dog and I went out and I was thinking, oh, it's so pretty, I must take a picture. And I looked for my phone. I hadn't brought my phone with me. First of all, I was kind of scared because I think if anything happens, I've always got my phone. And then I thought, oh, I could go back into the old days and maybe I could just enjoy the walk, look at things that were pretty and not have to take a picture and send it to somebody. I could have a real life for me for a moment.
We remember
and it was
those
the most
days,
liberating, amazing thing to just be present on a walk, look at pretty things, enjoy them and leave it at that. I'm so grateful.
Do you know what is liberating and incredible?
Go on.
Is the fact that my dog now is quite small because I've always had really big like Labradors and things that do enormous poos. And this lovely little doggy just does tiny poos. But the trouble is, yesterday in the snow, the poos, little poos, would hit the snow, steam, and then disappear. So there I was with the poo bag, diving in, trying to find the poo. Very, very hard with that deep snow.
I must ask Sherry. Now I'm back, by the way. I was gone on Saturday, but I'm here.
Yes, welcome back, dear.
Yes.
And I wasn't ill. I was doing a show. I was actually working.
I know.
You said on Friday, I know, a radio show. Very
yes,
important.
but a lot of people on Saturday said to me, where are you? Are you okay? So
they
that's
should
very
have tuned
nice.
in on Friday, like proper fans. That's what I'm saying to them. Then they would know.
I need to ask Sherry something. Sherry, how does Teddy like the snow?
Well, he doesn't really understand it, and he when we go out, he just looks at it, and he's got these funny feet that sort of do that up against his face, and he just goes, "I can't do this. I can't do this. Look at my fingernails. I can't do it." So I kind of have to lift him onto a bit where there's no snow, and it's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. He's got a little bomber jacket that he wears. And so he has his bomber jacket, and because he won't wear a coat, so he has a bomber jacket. But it's okay, but he hates it. I think he's a hot weather dog.
Well, I mean, they're Chihuahuas, aren't they? They come from Chihuahua, which is
I think he needs
Chihuahua land.
Yeah. He's very particular, isn't he, with his coat and his bomber jacket?
We have arguments every morning.
Oh, goodness me!
When you argue with a Chihuahua, it's very difficult. They suddenly start screaming in Spanish. And
diva dog.
Absolutely. Beanie's a bit the same though. She doesn't like a coat. She's got a kind of a bomber jacket too.
Oh, well,
but yesterday, when I was walking my two big labs, as you can imagine, I was walking out and it was snowing and it was slippery. And it was like I was like on some sort of ride. I was going, woo! And I thought, oh my God. And I didn't like Harriet. I've forgotten my phone and I've never done that. It must have been something in the weather yesterday to make us forget our phones. Our brains were obviously frozen. Yeah. And I thought, oh my God, if I end up losing a dog, falling over, what's going to happen to me?
Yeah,
no phones.
That's it.
But you know what?
It's kind of liberating.
About phones. You're right, Harry, about taking photos of everything. Why do people take photos of the food they eat?
Oh, please.
I've never got that. Have you?
Never.
People sending pictures and I'm having this tonight and I'm having this tonight and this is my coffee and this is my wine. And you just go, what?
I have to be honest.
Before lockdown. Lockdown hasn't caused people to go mad.
No, but I have to be honest, Sherry. I have taken pictures of my Baileys before, and that's not a euphemism.
That's different, darling. That is different. And I have taken a picture of my friend who cooked me the most amazing vegan breakfast, and that's the only time.
Okay,
yeah, give me that one, please. Thank you.
So, Harriet, who's coming in today?
Well, it's very exciting. The brilliant, multifaceted, multi-talented voice coach, presenter. There's loads of other things she'll do, which we'll talk about in a minute. It is the brilliant Carrie Grant. Welcome, my darling.
Hello.
Nest. How are you, darling? How is this crazy lockdown number, I can't even remember which, treating you? How's it going? What is happening in your life?
Oh, they've each had their own flavour, haven't they, all these?
Yes.
I feel like this one is an uppy-downy one.
Yes, roller coaster.
Yeah. Some days are really good and really positive, and I'm appreciating the small wins and I've got the right mindset. Yeah. And then other days I just want to get under the duvet and not come out.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. So what have you done that's different in this lockdown?
I think it's not so much what I've done differently. I think it's more because I've got 4 children and they're all doing different things. So in this particular one, I have 2 children because they've got special needs going into school.
Right.
One goes in 3 days a week, one goes in 2 days a week. But just trying to maintain and hold them through those remaining days when they're at home is just that much.
Yeah.
Must be very complicated.
Very complicated.
It is it's very interesting. I saw a headline today, you know, saying school kids might not be back till after Easter, you know, the lost generation. And I think my 15-year-old was out of school for 3 years. No one called them a lost generation.
Yeah.
No one cared.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, Carrie, I have to tell you, it was so amazing when you spoke to us earlier and you said you'd been in the business for 40 years. And I think, you know, you only look about, we don't even look 40, but I'm going to take you way back to the early 80s when you were in a band, weren't you, called Sweet Dreams, and you had a hit record, but it was called Never Giving
Up, but we did.
That's it. And that right now about you, doesn't it? And was it to do with the Eurovision? And you're still associated with that, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I love the Eurovision, and it was a great opportunity. I just turned 17 and I got the opportunity to represent my country, which, you know, when you're a singer dancer, like all of us guys, actor, singer, dancer, you don't really think about representing your country, but it was just a fantastic opportunity. And it was really my way out of dancing, because at 15, I left school at 15 because I've got a birthday in August. My first job was as a dancer on Top of the Pops. And so that was amazing. You know, when you're 15, 16 and you're there with Duran and Spandau and all these, it was a great fun to be a dancer. But actually, as much as I loved the program, I hated being a dancer. I just felt like a number. And then Eurovision really changed that. It really opened doors for me. So even though, you know, it's naff and we know it's naff, but actually it was a lot of fun to be.
Well, we have a big connection to this show on Eurovision because my son-in-law won it. My son-in-law is Måns Zelmerlöw.
Oh, that's amazing. And he won it, of course.
Yes, for Sweden.
That's Sweden win it a lot though, right?
Yeah. I mean,
they do.
He now lives in this country. He now lives in this country, and he has actually been on the Wonderbirds show, I think 3 times or twice. Anyway, but he's I mean, and they love Eurovision now. They take it really, really seriously.
And they've got some really, I think, because of where their speech is, where their voice is placed for speech, it creates amazing singers. They have really amazing tonal singers. You have just the most lovely voices.
And why don't we win it, Carrie? What's happened to our country then?
Everyone hates us.
They really do.
True.
Dimples. They do.
No, don't say that.
True, they do.
I just don't. What Måns thinks that we just don't take it. He thinks that we don't sort of place it right or take it seriously enough. He said he'd love to come in, you know, to help England because he thinks they really do need help. I mean, he went on 2000, I think it was 2016 with Heroes, which was brilliant, and all the work and everything that went into that. It wasn't kind of gimmicky, but it was an amazing song. And you know, you think of ABBA and all of those people, and you do think when I was a little girl, Eurovision was huge. It was one of the most exciting things ever to watch.
Yeah, well, Bucks Fizz. Look at Bucks Fizz.
There you go. How did you become a voice coach, Carrie?
Well, what happened was, because of the singing, then a few years later, I met David, who became my husband, and we were great. I suppose we've always seen ourselves as a bit like door openers. We're just ushers, really. So we and we would take, we didn't take that, for instance, when it all started. So we had 6 of us, so David and I, 2 really top singers, and then we took 2 completely new singers that had never worked. And the 6 of us were like a little mini choir for the song Pray. So when we were in our dressing room practicing our little, all I do each night is pray, there was a little knock at the door. And I think it was Robbie or Mark came in. They were like, oh my gosh, the sound of all your singers is amazing. Can I come and sit in? So eventually, bit by bit, all the boys ended up in our dressing room, all of us singing. And then the next day, their manager contacted us and said, would you take that voice coach?
Oh,
and our thing was, Voice coach? I don't think so. I think you'll find we're singers. Really like snobby and patronising about it. And we were like, but we didn't want to sort of be rude to them. So I said to David, look, let's just say it's the same cost for doing vocal coaching as it is for singing. That way they'll turn it down and then we won't have to do it. And they said yes. So it was one of those things that we started reluctantly, but within literally an hour, we were looking at each other like, this is meant to be. Because suddenly the access, not just to someone's voice, but to someone's heart, and you get to know them on a level that we've never done as singers. And so for us, that was so precious, and it just brought all our gifts together. You know, when you get those jobs where it's like it just hits the sweet spot where you're like, yes, this is stretching me. It's using, I'm so glad I did that job 10 years ago that I hated, because what I learned on it, I'm using now. And that's really how it happened with the boys, is that we started coaching them, and it brought together everything that were all of our passions suddenly in one place. So yeah, that's how we became coaches. And then I guess people liked it because we were doing, I guess at the time also, there were two types of coaches. There were people that did loads of technique, and then there were kind of singers that kind of motivated you and just left a CD on and you did the warm up, and then they went through songs with you. So David and I did all of that. Plus, we just had a heart to mentor people, especially our young artists who were coming into the industry and struggling with success and going, whoa, what do I do now? I'm 18 years old, I'm Robbie Williams, I've achieved all my dreams, and what's left? And what often is left for artists is, you know, self-destruction, unfortunately. So we were really able to come alongside people and do some of the stuff that we love doing.
Ask you, because you do so many things and you're involved with so many things. But what is your passion? What are you? What do you want to do? You like to present? Do you like, you know, I mean, what is it that you passionately would love to do next?
That's such a good question. Such a good question. I think at my heart, I'm a people person. I'm nosy. Like I'm looking at you women, I'm just thinking each one of these women here has got such an amazing like history and story, and I want to spend a few hours with each of you. That's what I feel inside. So I guess in my heart, I'm probably a presenter, but it's the interviewing. It's really hearing, who are you and what are you about? And who are you is the question. That's the same when I'm vocal coaching. Who are you? When we're doing leadership coaching, what are you about? And so everything that involves that, I absolutely love. It won't be acting though, I can tell you that.
No.
I can't do that. I look at
listen, Carrie, there won't be any more acting. There's no acting left. No. That is gone forever until another day, another dawn. But you know, you're talking about interviewing, not presenting.
Yeah,
so
I mean, presenting, but
connecting.
Yeah, connecting. I love just hearing, you know, when I do the one show and I get those in-depth interviews to do, and I absolutely relish them. So that's me that's proper home turf for me.
And I can imagine, because it's fascinating, isn't it, when you talk to somebody and suddenly they're not the person you thought they were at all. They've got such hidden things. That's what I find fascinating.
Yeah.
I think that as we get older, I know for me anyway, lots of people lose their curiosity, but I feel like I've worked at keeping that and being nosy. I guess being nosy, that's something you get a bit more when you're older, but just being curious about people, being curious about life, and just, you're right, you find out stuff about people and you've always had an impression.
Yes.
You know, I can think of half a dozen beautiful women that I just think, well, I'm not sure. And then you meet them, you're like, oh my gosh, they're so lovely.
Yeah.
Just everything that's gone out about them in the press has been just not who they really are.
I know.
Yeah.
That's
what
right.
I was going to say, Carrie, is that I feel that if I had a one-to-one with you, it would be exciting, but also it would be healing. I feel that because of your passion about the sort of one-to-one with people, and you're a people person, I think that would be it to me. It's a different dimension that you're offering as well.
Yeah, I guess it's something that's happened as I've got older. I think I really love the idea of transformation, just the idea of change. All of those things fascinate me. You know, I came into the industry, like most people, a little bit broken and going, I just want to be really famous because then I'll feel really good about myself. It doesn't work.
Not
and then you realise
it doesn't work. So Carrie, we both have a Talia, don't we?
We kind of do, yes. So I love this name, Talia. It means overflowing with exuberance, and it's just lovely. What a lovely concept. But my Talia at the moment, they came out as non-binary about 6 months ago. In fact, 3 out of 4 of my children came out as non-binary 6 months ago, or around that time. And,
Carrie, what does that mean? Carrie, what does it mean?
It means that they don't identify as male or female. They identify somewhere in the middle, or they just don't want to. They want to just be free of that kind of gender stereotyping. And so for Talia, they are also now exploring whether they feel more male, and so we're practicing with some different names. So we're on Thailand at the moment, and they like that name, so that may be moving forward. Could be Talia's new name.
They don't want labels stuck on their head. They just want to be free.
Yes.
Absolutely wonderful to have that choice now.
It's a journey for all of us. You know, I know that my heart is like, yeah, you just be who you want to be. I just, more than anything, you know, when people say, I just want my kids to be happy, I'm like, no. Happy? Who the hell can be happy the whole time? I want my kids to be whole. If my kids are whole, they'll deal with being happy and they'll deal with being sad.
Exactly.
I think the thing is though about not having labels, it has given that a label as well, bizarrely, which is even weirder.
Labels are helpful to identify who and how people work. That's a good thing. And a label is only a problem if you've got a problem with the label. Ultimately, labels are not helpful. It would be just all this stuff was so normal that we didn't have to have labels.
But Carrie, you've been so interesting. Sadly, we have run out of time. Can you believe that? Will you come back and see us again so we can talk more and more and more and more?
Please. 100%. You are just life goals, you guys.
Thank you,
Carrie. Come back really soon because we want Carrie Grant, the soap opera, the second episode.
Believe me, I'll bring you some drama.
Okay, we need it.
Thank you.
Thank you, darling.
Thank you, Carrie.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow, that went quick, didn't it?
Yeah.
I love that woman.
So we have, who's coming in now, Sherry? We have someone else important flying in.
Yes, we've got our gorgeous Stephen Murphy coming in because he's going to tell us all about what's happening quite dramatically to the soaps. Hi, Stephen. How are you?
Hi, Steve.
Hello, darling.
Now, I had a phone call from my mate Tony Maudsley, who is now, as you know,
your mole on the set.
Yeah. I mean, what's going on? Tell us what's happening.
Well, it's not quite as dramatic as it sounded at first. Basically, Emmerdale stopped for a little bit the last week or so. They're back today. And Coronation Street have stopped today for 2 weeks, really just to get some admin done almost in terms of safety and things. Emmerdale did have a little COVID outbreak, but it was crew not capped. So they had to stop. But they took that opportunity to do a deep clean and get some more protocols in place. And Coronation Street are doing the same thing. And also some scripts as well, because now we watch it and it feels really out of date. Because it's still open, all that kind of thing. So I think they're having a go at shifting a couple of that about so that it feels a little more like no.
They can sort of re-edit stuff and put some stuff into later episodes, because even back in 1982 when I was first in it, and my storyline when Sam Kidd died when we were filming, and they then had to rewrite the whole story of when we came in for us to go without saying that he died. So we managed to put bits in that were filmed later. And at that time, that was really difficult. So that obviously doing that now, I suppose, sort of.
Yeah, so I think it's just a little pause, they're calling it. And also they said that they'll still be able to do their number of episodes a week. They're not going to cut them back or anything in terms of transmission. So I think it's a little bit of breathing space. So if you think about it, everyone went back. you know, straight into it. I know they had Christmas, but everyone stands down at Christmas. So there's no chance to really deal with anything.
Yes.
Break. So I think basically it's just a little breather because they have all worked incredibly hard.
So tell me about the storyline in Coronation Street. Is really angry. I get so angry with it because the characters are just so ridiculous, isn't it? You wouldn't think I was an actress, would you? But anyway, tell me about Ray, because he really makes me very angry, and I'm assuming he's going to be murdered in a minute.
Well, he's sort of disappeared as of tonight, and we don't really know what's happened to him. We have a suspicion that Debbie might have knocked him off.
Yes, that's what I
mean that in a murder way, not in a bunk up way.
Yeah, not.
And not Debbie Arnold.
Not Debbie Arnold. Sorry, not our Debbie. Other Debbie. Debbie Webster. So but all will be revealed over the course of this week. Basically, you'll find out what's going on.
Oh, you're not going to tell us, are you?
No,
He can't.
I know. I mean, I'm going to have to carry on.
Hey, G, Stephen.
You are.
What about Emmerdale, Stephen? What's happening in Emmerdale?
Well, Emmerdale is Priya and Debbie have discovered that they're both dating the same man. I don't know how he thought he was getting away with this. So they have teamed up secretly to get their revenge. So that also happened this week. That's all very exciting.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So are there any other juicy bits you can tell us that's coming?
I mean, there was a brilliant episode of EastEnders on Friday where Sharon was all set to kill Ian and then didn't.
Yes.
We got a load of aftermath of that this week because Sharon's just trying to cover her tracks. So there's lots of that. But yeah, the soaps are getting quite. I think because often after Christmas they have a little dip.
Yeah.
Because they've sort of used up all the sort of, and then they're building up some more plots. But actually, the soaps are all quite on form at the minute. They're quite.
Yes, but they do need some more comedy in it, Stephen.
They do. I was having a little think about this because we've been talking about this a lot. And do you think there's maybe a bit less comedy because comedy needs a little bit more rehearsal? Do you think?
Timing.
I think it's much easier to get drama right if you're doing it or you know, to an acceptable level, you're doing it quickly. I think comedy's much easier to fall flat.
Jack and Vera could do any comedy standing on their head.
Yeah.
And I think it's about characters. It's not about
and the actors.
If the characters are funny. People like Hilda and Ina, who are amazing characters, they just did it. So I think comedy can be instantaneous. It's the character, it's the writing, it's the rhythm.
And it's the actors that you
I was going to say it's the actor, isn't it?
We did have some lovely scenes on Friday in Coronation Street between Maureen Lipman and Paula Wilcox. And what more could you ask for, really, in life?
Yeah, true. I'm not jealous.
Seasoned actors.
Yes.
Yeah, no, you're right. You know, I mean, but I do think, you know, like if you look back at the Jack and Vera's, and I was in it with those two wonderful actors, and I first started, we rehearsed, but within 2 years the rehearsals were cut, so they would just come in and just be.
But the thing is, Jerry, they knew each other very well, but still, my favourite Coronation Street moment of all time was you in the bath.
Not in the bath.
In the bed. In the bed. Sorry, in the bed that became the bath. It was you in the bed that became the bath. I mean, I actually could not breathe when that episode. It was so funny. It's one of
towel and scaring the whole of the.
You know, the thing is that you were there, but we were watching it. You were in it. You didn't have the fun that we had.
Will you come back soon with the latest updates, please, darling?
Of course,
please, Stephen.
Of course.
We've missed you, Steve.
Anytime, always available, always here in this room.
And you never leave that room, do you?
My whole life, just sleep under my desk.
Thank you, darling.
Thank you, darling.
All right, lovely.
Take care,
Stephen.
Bye.
Bye.
No, I really mean that, Sherry. That scene to me was so fun, especially because I know you as well. And when it happened, I just remember I was sitting there unable to breathe. I'd love to see. I'm going to watch it now on YouTube again.
Yeah,
Because
it's
We're talking about sheer talent here, darling. You know, what can we say? Sheer talent.
What can I say?
Exactly, darling.
How long were
you
you
say,
in that
darling?
waterbed for? How long were you in it for?
We did it. We had to be one take because it was full of 500 gallons of water. So it took a whole day to do it.
There you go.
Talking of water, Sherry. How did they do it? Because did you do it in a different studio? What happened?
No, it was a studio that was had a whole wall built around it to take the water. So as soon as the water went, it was like a dam. So it was all the way around us, and the water went, so it couldn't leak. You know what I mean? It was an unbelievable setup, to be honest. So I'm very technical. Not that we were being very technical, but it was a very technical thing to do. So that's why it took a day to do it.
Darling, excellent. Hashtag segue to your water.
Oh, yes. Well, I have to tell you something, girls, that my canal is frozen.
Oh,
really?
Again?
Yes.
Is that, what are you talking about, Sherry?
It's not a euphemism. It's not a euphemism.
Sorry.
Although, let's not go down that road.
I thought mine's certainly been frozen for a long time, but we'll let that go.
My canal is frozen, and all this. I'll have to send you a video. All the ducks now skate because they can't go in the water. They literally skate all along. It's the most I should put music to it. There's lots of the normal ducks, and then there's a big white duck. I don't know why this white duck is there. He's a big boy, and he stays with them. So the white duck skates, and they all skate behind him. So I should take it and put some music to it. It's the most fascinating. Yes. But I feel sorry because without water they can't get food. Yeah. Because they can't, nibble. So I am constantly taking food down to them. But they're the biggest, fattest ducks in this village.
They are now.
They are now. Yeah. Well, so who's coming Wednesday, girls?
Oh, we're staying on the soap scene. It's Dean Gaffney.
Oh, yeah,
fabulous.
He'll have some stories. My God.
Yeah.
I remember him in the Jungle. Do you remember him?
Brilliant.
Yes.
Also, we've got Andrew Barton with some revelatory hair information, as always.
Yes.
Absolutely.
He needs to come round to my house, I'm afraid.
We need it, mate. We need it.
To everybody's house.
There's lots.
Let's have a look
now.
It's we're all the same. I mean, I don't know what I'd do without hairspray.
I know. Thank goodness for hats. That's what I say.
Well, yes.
See you Wednesday, guys.
See you Wednesday.
See you Wednesday. Bye.